Let's get into it now with California Congressman, member of the Judiciary Committee and Foreign Affairs Committee, Darrell Issa. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here.
Well, good to be on and good to be dealing with the economy, because that's going to be what drives this election, is people's recognition that the economy went from right track to wrong track almost overnight with this administration.
Yeah, and we're looking at some dire predictions. People like Ray Dalio and other hedge fund managers, Jamie Dimon talking about an economic hurricane. How do you prepare and what are you expecting for in 2023? It certainly feels like there are some serious curveballs coming at us.
Well, we've got to change direction. If you keep going the wrong direction, inevitably you will get where you're going. And, we've got to get labor efficiency back up, supply chain fixed. But we also have to deal with some other causes of inflation, including reliance on foreign oil when there's a shortage globally that we could fill at least on an interim basis. And that includes many of our allies like Germany and so on, who for a long time were telling us to get off oil, and now they're burning coal because they don't have enough oil.
Yeah, it's a great point to make. And I remember President Trump telling Germany and Angela Merkel, don't rely on Russia. Don't rely on gas from Russia. And obviously they did. Sure. And now they are hurting as a result. I want to get your take on the California politics going on in your state. Going to begin sending out inflation relief checks at the end of next week. Millions of residents will receive payments of up to $1,050. This, as the state will be banning the sale of gas-powered cars by 2035, with the gas price average coming in at $6.18 a gallon. Congressman, what's going on in California and the impact of all of these policies? What are you supposed to do? You can't have a gas-powered car. You can't afford an electric vehicle. You got to conserve because the lights are going out. You're supposed to just shelter in place, I guess, in California.
Well, these are the policies that are rippling down from President Biden. I might note that President Biden said that there were gas prices below $3, and implying that what we see in California, the $6 gas, doesn't exist. I guess the tinting on the president's limousine is a little too dark for him to see the prices as he goes down the street. But, our state is heading toward a structural deficit. In other words, the money he's giving away today, inevitably in 18 months, 2 years, we're back in a huge deficit. And so that's the first ridiculousness, is California's basic structure is bleeding red ink. But he has surplus right now. He's going to hand it out as part of his reelection. And then he's going to run for president. And I look forward to it. I look forward to a real debate between my failed policies that I live with in California and some regional policies like Governor Youngkin, Governor DeSantis, and others that are drawing people to their states.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lack of acknowledgement of these policies and the impact is really what gets me. I mean, we're talking about 40-year high inflation right now. And yet, what is this White House and the Democrats doing? They're throwing more stimulus at the economy. The bailout for student loans expected to cost between $500 billion and up to $1 trillion, depending on where you look. And I think we really need to focus on this rail strike potential. Do you know anything about this? Because it seems that this president told us that there's an agreement that is tentative in place, and it sort of put a pin in the conversation. I don't think there's any tentative deal out there, okay? Because we have not seen any of these unions vote on it. So he basically put a pin in it until after the election. After the midterms, I bet we see those rail unions get to the picket line, and that's going to stoke all other unions to get to the picket line and start striking. That's going to be a disaster for this economy.
Well, you're exactly right. And in fairness to all of the private sector unions, inflation is hurting the real earning of their workers. They don't want to lose ground that they've fought for so many years. And so, the fact that he can get the unions to let him get through an election doesn't change the reality that we're going to have major problems unless we stem inflation. The other thing that in fairness is, again and again, they've used techniques to stimulate the economy, get the, and get the stock market looking okay. But as soon as the real reports come out, we get what we're getting, which is a steady decline in the market and a recognition that we have stubborn inflation. And worst of all, the Fed literally has to work counter this administration. We're probably going to have 150 basis points or more that will be ratcheted up only because he wouldn't cut stimulus. If he had cut stimulus, we could have had a much softer landing and, quite frankly, more affordable interest rates.
Yeah, speaking of stimulus, they want to give the rail workers a 24% raise. Everybody's going to want a 24% raise, by the way, the other unions. But all of this while they've weaponized the agencies. Congressman, you and your fellow Republicans on the House Judiciary are demanding former FBI Special Agent Timothy Thibault give an interview on the agency's political bias and his work on the Hunter Biden investigation. What do you think you'll find, and have you heard back?
Well, he's going to ignore us until we have subpoena power. I'm pretty sure of that. I've been down this road before. But come January 3rd, presuming the outcome we're predicting, we can compel him. At that point, we can ask why he was the leader of the cover-up, or if he wasn't the leader of the cover-up, who he was working for.
Yeah, and we should point out that former FBI agents are supporting the whistleblower at this point, Congressman.
That's right.
So there are others who are identifying exactly what you have identified at the DOJ and the FBI, and that is this political bias.
Yeah. Well, it's essential that we clean up the Department of Justice, including the FBI, because of those good, hard-working men and women that, quite frankly, deserve better.
Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much.